Today I have the 350 Royal Enfield Classic and I'm in Greece and I'm on the island of Rhodes. I have hired this bike for 3 days from Dina Motors. So day one, the plan was just to go out for an hour and a half, see how I got on, learn the bike that I have ridden one of these before, learn the roads, then perhaps tomorrow get up really early and go a little bit further. Rode from where we were staying down to Lindos, put some fuel in it, and then I've got my zip stuck, and then turn around, come back. So I just want to talk about how I've done it. I brought with me in our luggage my Nox perforated, they call it a shirt, but I still see it as a jacket. And that's great for the airflow, and also you get the same amount of protection as you, or close to the same amount of protection as you would be with a normal motorcycle jacket, but it's so light. As I think I've said before, I've taken out the Nox armour and put in a D30. That allowed me to fold it up really easily in my luggage, again saving space and weight. And the other thing that I brought with me was my Moto Girl Melissa jeans, which are brilliant. I've worn these now for about 2 years. They're women's jeans obviously, but they fit me perfectly, I think. Perhaps a little bit baggy, but they're really, really good. And the Alpine Star gloves, which again have got the airflow, and it hasn't felt like I've really been wearing them. You know, sometimes when you're wearing motorcycle gloves, things get really hot. And as part of the 130 euros for the bike, borrowed the helmet, and I brought my own goggles, which actually the road is, okay, I'm just come off the main road, but the roads are very dusty and dirty, and you don't want that flicking up in your eyes. Again, I've seen nobody else wearing goggles, but I need to protect my eyes, and that's my philosophy. So that's what I'm wearing, and it's allowed me to come abroad, not take up too much luggage space, and actually have a great time on the bike. But the plan is tomorrow, get up really early, go a bit further, perhaps get off of some of the main roads, go on some of the little roads, see how I get on, perhaps across the island, we'll see. So it's 6:30 in the morning, and this is day 2 of me with the Royal Enfield in Greece, and I'm heading out looking for a very historic abandoned mansion. I've made a mistake of not bringing a sat nav, so I've just got my AirPod in my ear to give me directions. Not 100% sure what I'm going to find. Don't know if I can get to it. Don't know how safe it is if I get to it, if I even find it. But we'll see. It's going to be a nice little ride anyway. So, nice day today so far. though I believe the weather is good at the minute, but there is a little bit of chance of rain because it's a bit more cloudy than yesterday. But I'm not against it being a little bit colder because it was quite hot yesterday. But right now it's fine. So I'm going to leave the hotel, get on my bike, and see what I can find. So I've arrived where it says the destination is, and there's a hotel just there. Quite a fancy looking hotel actually. It's quite nice. Google Maps suggests that the mansion that I'm looking for is behind that restaurant. So I'm just going to gather my bits together, go for a wander and see what I can find. Obviously I need to play it safe because there's nobody, there's a car there, but other than that I haven't seen anything for ages, so I don't want to get myself in any kind of trouble. The ride up here, where's my Enfield? There it is. That was quite something. The roads were fantastic, but I went on a slightly wrong direction, and went on the Google thing sent me on a direction that was like a cut route. Oh my god, it was so steep. And as I was going up it, I was just thinking, how am I going to get back down? But I'm halfway up it, so I've got to see it through. But I think there'll be a different way to go where it isn't quite so precarious, because I wasn't too comfortable with that. But other than that, really fun ride, fantastic, great to experience these twisty roads. I was taking it very easy because I don't know the roads. And if I come up behind and they know where they were going, I'll let them go, because that's the thing to do. But let's see if I can find this mansion. Well, that was quite a climb, and this is the mansion. Quite a lot of history behind this place. Clearly derelict, as you can see. But this was built for Mussolini when Italy had rule of Rhodes. So Italy had it from 1912, and then in 1943, when the Italians surrender, then the Germans took over. So this was built for Mussolini. But as far as I can gather, see there behind. Little garage. Don't want to go too deep into it because it's very creepy, and I'm completely on my own, and I won't lie, a bit nervous. But yeah, so as far as I'm aware, Mussolini never actually stayed here, but it was built for him during their reign of this part of Greece. The views outside are absolutely incredible, so you can see why it was built. And I believe it's still on the market, but it's left derelict, and no one's bought it. I think it's been on the market for over 10 years. I mean, with the connotations of it, you can understand why nobody would want to buy it. But as a part of history, it's incredible. There's another building just over here. I'm not going to climb up there. I just want to get myself back to the bike, if I'm honest. I've had to climb up quite a steep bit to get here. There's like a second building up there. If it wasn't on my own, I'd go up there. But part of this journey was the ride, and when I saw that this piece of history was here, I thought I had to come and have a look. So I'm going to go down some very steep steps up here. So I'm going to go back to the steps. Apologies if the sound isn't very good. I don't really want to get all my microphones together just for this. I just want to get back to the bike. just had to pull over for a second. The views here are absolutely incredible, and I could not stop. Don't get too close to that edge, mind you, because that's quite steep. But we're so high up in the mountains here on this ride. I'm not sure I've ever ridden this high, if I'm honest, but the views are absolutely stunning, absolutely incredible. I say absolutely a lot, but it is a beautiful part of the world. I've pulled over again because I'm not 100% sure what this is, but I'm going to see if I can have a look. Looks like an old church or something, or monastery perhaps. It looks like it's open, so. And I'm going to go dizzy. Again, it's right by the kind of mountainside, so I'll take a look at there in a second, but looks like you can let yourself in because it says on there, please close the door, which suggests you can open the door. No, I wasn't expecting what I found in there. Fully functioning church. Absolutely incredible. The paintings on the wall, it must go back hundreds and hundreds of years, still in fabulous condition. That's incredible. That's such a find. And I have to say that that's a better find than the Mussolini mansion that I was actually looking for, which was very, very creepy, whereas this is gorgeous, wonderful piece of history. I didn't want to talk in there because obviously it's a church, but yeah, this is why you do rides like this, because you find things like this. That is incredible. So part of the reason why I hired this 350 while I was over here was to dip my toe in the water with riding a motorcycle in Europe, see how I felt with it, see if I enjoyed it, see if I liked exploring. So this was just to see if I quite liked just heading off somewhere and seeing what I find. And today has proved the answer to that is yes. But finding places that are the real parts of Greece is what I like to do when I go abroad. The tourism places are fantastic, obviously, but seeing places that are just natural is even more exciting. So I want to do more of that, whether that be on the Bonneville or something else. That's what motorcycling gives you. You're out there, you're on your own, and it's just you and the elements and the machine, which sounds so cringy, but it is so very true. And that's what's actually great about this 350 Classic. There's nothing but a 350cc engine, basic brakes, basic clutch. There is nothing else, but it's what you need, and it's so fun. It's so fun. So yeah, they're the plans, or they're the ideas, shall I say. And between here and then, I'll probably take my Bonneville to France. There's some places I want to go there and do, like kind of what I've done today. Just hop on just go out. Obviously I'd get either the tunnel or the ferry, and then go for a ride for a day, and perhaps even camp maybe, or just get an Airbnb. It's so cheap. But this has told me that I do want to do more exploring on a bike, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's enough talking from me. I'll wrap it up there. Hopefully me riding about on this 350 Classic in Greece has been enjoyable. If it has, give me a like and subscribe. It really helps me grow, and everything that I don't earn much from this channel, but everything that I do goes straight back into either equipment or things like this, hiring this bike. And if you are over Dino Motor, just reading it on the key, Dino Moto, give them a look. They've been really helpful, really nice guys there. And this was €130 for 3 days, which I think is fantastic. And they've let me have it for an extra day as well, overnight. So a bit more than that. So yeah, right, that's it. That's enough for me.